do on the show as well is kind of look at current affairs and current stories that are going on. So in the last week, I suppose the biggest story, I'm sure lots of people out there is like, one of the biggest stories that have been spoken about in the press at the moment is the chicken box knife crime hashtag thing. So basically, the government had this idea to try and reduce, as a solution for reducing knife crime, that they're going to put stories about people who've turned away from knife crime or turned to sports or turned to something in chicken box wrappers, and that they are hoping is going to deter young knife-wielding men to turn away from knife crime. So it's caused quite a stir and quite a scandal. I mean, a lot of like the MPs were coming forward and saying it's racist. It's caused debates. It's been going on. So I thought we could touch on that. Let's have a little talk about chicken boxes. Mm-hmm. Nana.
Yes, my dear.
What was your first initial reaction to it when you heard it? What was your initial reaction?
Oh, it was a lot. I think one thing we have to be clear about to the audience and in general is that knife crime is seen as a black problem.
Yes.
Right. That's the first issue. Statistically, that's a load of nonsense. Yeah, exactly. Statistically, more white people die from knife crime than black people, but we have a disproportionate, in terms of as victims and perpetrators, we have a disproportionate level. But actually, numerically, more white people die from knife crime than black people. Up until recently, Scotland was seen as the knife crime capital of Europe. Yeah? There's no blacks down there. Hardly any black people. So that's the first thing I want to make clear. So in terms of what we have is that there isn't a public uproar about people dying because the general public believes that it's a black problem, so who cares? I mean, there's more. If cats and dogs were being killed on the streets, there'd be more uproar about cats and dogs, literally, than black people. Black people losing their lives. So, but going back to the chicken thing, I heard the campaign's going to cost the government £50,000, right? Now that was the first giveaway. So the value of lives is 50k.
Yeah, it's not.
That's the first red herring.
Yeah.
50k campaign. It doesn't make any sense. The first thing I said was, how is that going to prevent somebody from picking up a knife and going to use it because they read some silly little message in a box? And you think people are getting paid a salary to come up with these absurd nonsense. There are solutions out there in the community. There's plenty of solutions, providers, but most of them are broke. Yeah. Not for my African, you might not understand what broke means. They're broke. Yeah. So put some patois in there. They're broke. Yeah. And what they need is an investment into what they do to scale up the results. And that's when you really see things happening. Don't be despondent or don't be thinking that there's no hope. There is lots of hope.
There's lots of people doing working great work. Hard. They really
hard with their own money most of the time. But it's not sustainable. That model is it's not sustainable. Yeah. So in terms of solutions, that particular one, rubbish. There's solutions out there, but they need investment. And part of the reason why there isn't a big uproar, like I said, is because of the misconception about who the victims and perpetrators are. If you Ross Kemp done a program recently, and he said it straight, and I respect him for that as well. He said it's not a black problem. Because he talked about Sheffield, he talked about other parts of Newcastle, for example, where it's rife and there's no black people there. So we need to push that narrative more.
Yeah, but and I think we should make a point of let's not try and sway away from the fact that it's on purpose why it's widely perceived that it's a black
100%.
Let's not pretend that people think this by accident. This is a purposeful
100%.
effort by white supremacists in the media and all this stuff to make it look like it's a black problem. So that's why when I look at things like the chicken box thing, before I even go into what it's about, it's like, cool, who started this campaign? The government started this campaign?
Yeah.
Well, it's coming from the same people that are trying to demonize us. So If it's coming from the same people that's trying to demonize us, so why am I going to trust it straight away? Do you get what I'm saying?
All this trick in the book.
Exactly. It's not all this trick in the book.
Yeah.
You're just trying to distract us. What's that about?
That's it.
And it's the idea that putting something in the wrapper or something someone's eating, the real causes of knife crime, the poverty, the mentality, the music, all of these things, once they're in that position and they are scared and they are carrying a knife and they are in gang violence, you think,
Yeah, it's not like
Tyrone from down the block. Oh, he stopped, so that's gonna stop me from going out. It's ridiculous.
I just feel like, in general, you know, a lot of campaigns are just a waste of time because a lot of them don't focus on the root of the problem.
Yeah, stop.
You get what
Put back
I'm saying?
CMA. Put back mentoring. If you think about schools and what's been cut, like in organisations, whole therapy teams have been cut out. Where are the mentors? Where are the people on the street that can actually do the work? Like one of your solutions was having street angels, isn't it? So it's to have people that you're employing from the community who are respected enough to say, yo, stop what you're doing and guide them. But there's no funding for that.
There's no funding for that. And the irony of it is, that's far more cost effective than hiring more police. And it's actually it will be more impactful. Imagine you see, he bemanned them on a thing. The proper people that you respect in the community, patrolling and talk to people and whatever. That's going to be more conducive than having a whole army of police that are camping down on the community.
The army police, having all of the police, it's just that, to me, that just makes things worse.
Well, there you go.
In this situation.
There you go.
You know, people are too trusting of the police and stuff like that. I don't see how, if anything, for me, the police perpetuate the problem more.
What we have to understand as well is there's a political motive to this as well. There's an election looming, right?
Yes.
And it's a vote winner.
100%.
It's a vote winner. So Mr. Man is trying to appease certain people that he not a demographic that are going to vote for him. And being seen as tough on crime, is a sure way of getting votes. But the funny thing I was going to make a point earlier is that on the same day that they announced it, somebody got stabbed outside the Home Office.
Oh yes.
Yeah, one of the employees. You see what I'm saying? So the chickens have come home to roost. So while you're perpetuating, chickens have come home to roost, literally. So while you're perpetuating this myth about black criminality, somebody from your department got stabbed and they lost their life. I mean, how you couldn't even write it. You know. So it's a challenge, but the challenge is the reason why there isn't. I think the challenge for us as a community is that what are we going to do about it? Can't rely on these people to do anything.
Exactly.
You know?
I was trying to say that in my piece earlier, but the way I see it is, I mean, if I could summarize it, I would say the main problem of like the cause for knife crime is poverty, kind of thing. So
100%.
People trying to lift themselves up, get caught in the trap.
If you like, because the thing is, it's you can see it statistically though. If you go anywhere where there's where poverty is high, the crime rates are high. Literally, poverty constitutes to crime. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you're bringing out a chicken box with a message on it, right? That's not tackling. You can we can say all these things. Like, oh, it's nice, it's helping, but again, it's just another thing that's not tackling the root of the problem. So, to me, any project, if you're trying to help knife crime, right? If you're not trying to tackle poverty, I wouldn't say. I'm sorry, poverty. I wouldn't say you've got the solution. Do you get what I'm saying? I wouldn't say. I might say, oh, you're helping. You might be helping here and there, but that's not the solution. And this chicken box thing is just is not only is I find it racist, and it's just I find it it's just
it's the stereotype.
Trying to deliberately.
It's a disrespect, and the thing is,
I find it offence. I took offence because I've been having debates with people about it, and I say it's not just black people that eat at chicken box, but that's that eat at chicken shops, but that is the stereotype.
But you see, the thing is, the giveaway was not even that. The giveaway was the additional add-ons to the solution. So-called solution was we're going to push them into music and sports like basketball.
Again,
That was a giveaway.
Yeah, it's the same thing. That's the only
it comes
thing
from that whole thing of
good at.
sports and entertainment. That's the only thing we're capable of doing. That was a real giveaway that is targeting black youth rather than they're saying that it's for all youth.
Everybody, yeah.
But that was a giveaway. That was a key indicator.
And that just goes to show, you know, you should look at that and realize like that there's an agenda going on, because the fact that we're always being pushed into, you know, the entertainment, you know, the stuff like that. And we were just speaking about one of you touched on something to do with academia earlier, basically. And again, this is the thing, like, we don't pay enough attention to statistics, honestly. Like, where black people are achieving academically, we're overachieving. Do you get what I'm saying?
That's it.
So,
That's it.
like, we're being pushed into that area when we're doing well in all these areas in general. It must show you, statistically, we're achieving academically. There's an agenda going on.
Yeah,
people are trying to push you into an area
110%.
where you can blossom in others.
110%. You know when I realised this, when I first had a business meeting with a group called Wright Society. So Wright Society, basically, give them a plug on the show. They're a group of doctors, lawyers, you know, quite well-to-do professional black people as a collective, and they try to plug in our youth into education, jobs, etc. And one of the directors said to me, "Tell me now, what's the prison population of the UK?" Right, I didn't know at the time, so I took a rough guess. And guess, do you know what the prison population is? Roughly.
You know, for the whole of
the UK. So a population of 70 million. What do you think it is? Roughly. Have a guess.
I wouldn't say it's in a million, but like,
okay, what would you say?
Around 100,000 in it. Like, I don't know. High.
Have a guess. Come on, cuz. Give me a number. That's looking at us like
200,000.
I'm saying something like, I don't know, 800,000.
Okay,
I don't know.
You're saying 200, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. It's actually 90,000 roughly on average. So, and there you go. But you will think that it was the other way around.
Yeah.
Because our population is between 3 million and 5 million black people in this country. So 90,000 out of 70 million entire population is in jail. Just pretend that another 90,000 getting away with crimes. Yeah? That's just under 200,000, right? So what you were saying to me effectively was, why are we so focused on that when we should be focused on the majority that just trying to go through, trying to get on in life, but we're so distracted by this, we're not focused on the masses. And that really made me think that when he broke it down statistically like that, and he said there's about 700,000 youths within our community, 700,000. So he put that conversation into context for me, and then I started kind of changing my strategy around it. Once I had the data, so it's important to get away from the hype, the misinformation,
change the narrative.
Otherwise, the way societies will make you have a very, very negative perception of black people.
110%.
And you won't realise that a lot of these are just purposeful attempts
and the
to try
youth. It's because it's. I think a lot of the young people today, the youth, they're painted in a very negative light.
Yeah.
And they internalise that. They end up internalising it. I mean, when you talk about so-called black on black crime, that's the root of it is self-hate. Do you see what I'm trying to say? The root of it is self-hate. And once you understand the link between that self-hating psyche and what you do, then you're halfway there. I remember, like, when I was younger, right? I remember when I realised that, I used to get in regular fights by people just looking at me.
Yeah.
So simply, a man looks at me, he's like, "We looking at?" And they turn to a brawl. Then one day it dawned on me. I thought, hold a minute. I started smiling at people when they gave me funny looks, like, "Yeah, you right, bro?" Smile at them, and 9 out of 10 times we diffused the whole.
The power of a smile. That's something I feel very passionate about. There was an excellent clip in your Access UK group. I was going to show it, but I spent about time. It's about Screwface, and it's like you start with the Screwface, and you come over with Screwface. I look at your Screwface, you look at my Screwface, and everybody's looking at, and then it turns into something else. But the power of a smile And that's what I was saying it to my son the other day. If you walk somewhere, someone's looking at you, give them a smile, see what happens.
Yeah.
Rather than perpetuating.
No, I try to diffuse it because what it is that that's a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Because you see somebody that looks like you, and instantly you tense up.
Yeah.
You know, so and you know, I was a big lad when I was about your age. I was like, you know what I mean, in the gym 24/7, and you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So physically, yeah, you're intimidating, but it's internalized hatred for self.
Yeah.
Because you see a white man that's built and big, and you don't have the same reactions, even though he's more of a danger to you than I am. So
that's one of the lines from a poem. When did you start seeing your reflection as your enemy?
Yeah, 100%.
So you see yourself, and then I had a student. I won't say his name, but he had a lot of mental health issues, and he would walk around like this all day long, you know. And he'd be like, "Oh, why is everyone looking at me? Why are they screaming?" If you've seen your face, they look in the mirror, they're looking at you to think, "Is he okay?" And then you're reading into them looking at you like, "I'm looking at you like you're alright." You're looking at me, and then it just escalates. So I think the message of the day is smile, greet people, and women as well. I think a lot of the time women find it difficult. You look at somebody, you see a beautiful woman, I'm very, very quick to say, hello, smile, you look nice. Compliments are free. Positive, I put out positive energy, and people,
some people will look at you like a bit strange, like you're strange.
Yeah, like just
because they're not used to it. Because when you look at our parents' generation, when they came into UK, it's suddenly you see somebody you don't know to say hello to them. It was a standard thing. It's a given that you say hello, and that's slowly been eroded to a point where now if you say something, they think that you're up to something. Or,
I can't lie. One thing I would say, I wouldn't even say it's, I would say this is like a British culture thing, but I feel like we just read over it. Like in terms of like people just want to mind their own business and not. You get what I'm saying?
Where does that come from? You have to ask yourself. Where does that come from? It never used to be like that.
Yeah.
It never used to be mind your business things. So where did that mentality come from?
But I've always kind of been like that. I mean, if I'm walking down the road, let's say I walk the same route every day and I see the same person every day, like 7 days a week, the likelihood is I'll end up saying hi to them every day. I make eye contact, so I recognise your face, you recognise mine, I'll say hi. And I think we need to get back to that kind of mentality.
100%.
Like, not just with black people, with it's nothing.
Yeah.
The people that are around you, if you put out a positive energy,
100%.
it will come back to you. And
that's how the universe works.
To move us forward.
That's how the universe works.
So we are getting towards the end of the show.